Electric car sales in the United Kingdom have suddenly skyrocketed by a staggering 58%. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans, you're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. A lot of excitement around electric cars right now in the UK. Honestly, you guys pay too much for cars in the UK. It's sort of ridiculous, the taxes that you guys have on them. It feels like some sort of African country. I know that in Africa there's some huge tariffs on vehicles and products in general, just super expensive. Many years ago, I actually tried to give away some bicycles to some people in Africa, some good road bicycles to people who are trying to start their own racing team. I had a bicycling company, some carbon frame bicycles, really good ones, and I wasn't able to do it because the tariffs were just astronomical. It was like 200% tariffs. It was ridiculous. Now, you guys don't have anything like that in the UK. But you do pay more for EVs than we do in Australia. You pay more for EVs than people do in Europe. You pay more for them than what people pay for them in the United States. There's almost no question about that, right? Maybe you guys should say something to the government about that. I think that's just whacked. Anyhow, new battery electric vehicle sales in the UK rose 58% in November. That's the 11th straight month of growth. And yet, Stellantis is still complaining about EV mandates in the UK, which require manufacturers next year, require them 22% of their sales should be electric in 2025. That's what they're requiring in the UK. I don't think it's that hard of a number considering this staggering growth of EV sales, 11 straight months in a row of EV sales in the UK. So, overall new car sales fell 1.9%. The market, in other words, is shrinking, but EV sales are growing. So actually, these numbers are even better than they look. Britain's strict zero-emission mandates demand that automakers sell a high proportion of EVs each year or face fines per non-compliant vehicle sold. But to be honest, those percentages are still very small and completely manageable. The UK's new Labour government said in November it would reconsider these rules after the industry, as in local manufacturing, warned that these mandates would cause factory closures and job losses in the absence of demand from consumers. Guys, the truth is, manufacturing anything in the UK is way too expensive. I don't know how you guys are able to do this. You must be getting enormous government incentives to keep your manufacturing industries alive at all there. I'm shocked that they still are around. A pragmatic approach to the EV mandate alongside incentives for both manufacturers and consumers will be crucial to drive electric vehicle uptake, said Jamie Hamilton, automotive partner and head of electric vehicles at Deloitte. However, key economic indicators such as consumer confidence, inflation and interest rates will continue to play a significant role in purchasing decisions. The government has announced measures to support the sector. Finance Minister Rachel Reeves, in her maiden budget in October, said zero-emission vehicle owners will pay lowest first-year taxes effective April 1st, 2025. So they're going to lower taxes for EV owners. November is the second month that the British automotive industry has met the mandated levels. So this is good news. The discounts helped EV market share reach 25% in November, exceeding mandate levels. So companies, right, it's meant to be 22% market share for EVs. They hit 25%. So 3% above it. This is some really good numbers. Intriguingly, looking at these numbers, this plug-in hybrid sales have gone down. Why would you need a plug-in hybrid in the UK? It's not very big, really. And hybrid sales have gone down as well. So have petrol car sales. In fact, petrol sales have fallen for, nearly every month in a row now since around about April. So, yeah, really big falls in sales for petrol-powered cars in the UK. So what all this means is that electric car sales have grown by approximately 20% in the UK this year for the whole year. Really, if you have a look at the increase in EV sales in places like the UK, Norway, yes, EV sales have grown in America as well, plus China. You can see why EV sales have grown worldwide by around 30% in 2024. Car News China have done a brilliant job of actually putting together all the EV sales and EV brands and everything and make it very easy for us to see just exactly what is going on in China. And what's going on is actually quite interesting. This is the sales, the best-selling vehicles in China in November this year. And it does really highlight one thing, which is that legacy automakers are not selling many EVs in China. They weren't last year or the year before. They weren't 6 months ago, and they still aren't today. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. Almost forgot my name there. Must be tired. Great to have you with us. And you know what, guys? I want to thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you can support us as a YouTube member, that would be amazing. I'll put a link in the description below. Now, this page here from Carnage China is clearly a work in progress, but they've done the majority of it. They've done all the most important ones, the ones that they haven't filled in. There's a few question marks there, but they're way down the list. So who is doing the best in China? Well, obviously BYD is. BYD sold 504,000 EVs and plug-in hybrids in total. Now, I think BYD could struggle a little bit in the future just because the technology in their EVs is, it's clearly not up to the same level as other car manufacturers yet. Now, will that change? Probably, but at this point in time, that's the case because they've clearly been focusing on plug-in hybrids. Most of their premium cars that are coming out are plug-in hybrids. The Bao 5, the Bao 3, the Bao 7, I think it is. You get where I'm going with that, right? Second place, Geely, 122,453. Long way behind BYD's 504,000, but still, Geely are actually the fastest growing vehicle company when it comes to EV sales, and they're also the fastest growing vehicle company worldwide. Now, when it comes to sheer numbers, obviously BYD is growing faster, but when it comes to percentage terms, Geely are growing faster than any other car company in the world right now, except one other car company, a bit niche, but they're also growing at a similar pace. I'll get to them in just a minute. Third is SAIC GM Wuling. Now, this is a bit of a weird one here, right? General Motors just wrote off their China business. They wrote it down by $5 billion. It's soon going to be worthless. Give it another year or two and it'll be worthless essentially. But we're not quite there yet. At this point in time, SAIC does have, or General Motors, I should say, is part of a tri-venture. So they own 33% of this business along with SAIC, which is a Chinese government-owned conglomerate, and Wuling. Now, Wuling technically really are the ones who make these cars, and they sell mini EVs, and bigger ones actually, but the most popular ones are the mini EVs. These EVs are so cheap. They start at about $4,000 US. They're really, really good for that price.